I'm
Thank
testing
you.
stream out again, so it's back on. FYI.
We're in group. We're not in lobby.
Oh.
There we go.
Absolutely, let's run Lunar Colony.
Oh
In a while.
my.
I guess I can stream this too. Why not? Actually, good trust.
All right. Oh.
Okay. I think we are back and running. Stream is looking good.
All right.
Wonderful.
Okay, stream is up and running. Y'all are good to go. Going into the next map.
Very good. All right. Well, it wouldn't be a community event. It wouldn't be, I like to say, it wouldn't be a scrim block if we didn't play at least a round of King's Row.
There we go.
Absolutely, King's Row, everyone's third favorite map.
Everyone's third favorite. We're number one, number two.
No. We got
No.
we got Verizon Lunar Colony as number one.
Fair enough. Winton's home, my beloved.
Absolutely. We're playing the Christmas version of this.
Oh, of course. They're asking for Rhine honor and glory. I will be all here for it.
You love to see an honorable NA Rhine duel.
I mean, as both teams coming through Brook and Pizza Bot on the Reinhardts.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I'm one very, very happy camper when I see an honorable Ryanair coming through. But both teams, Brooks team coming for starting on the defense. We have Ryan Crisp on the auto break, so a very stable backline, but no speed. Brooke needs to be careful. No speed on either side, so playing flat-footed isn't really going to be too much of a concern. But not a use on the tracer can turn around, make things happen. As as poor Brooke is gonna have to do a lot of shield holding with Tippy on the Widowmaker and Drew on the Pharah as both rides coming through, counterpin through. Brooke gets slept immediately. Nade through, but both teams poking and prodding, just trying to make stuff happen. And Andrew turns around, picks off Chris, bio Nade through. Brooke is the next to fall to the hands of Pizza Bot, and it is all and just again walk through, get the opening pick, and just take point.
Absolutely. You would love to see the hit scan have more presence there to prevent the Pharah from having that opening on Gianna.
Yeah, you'd love to see it, but Tippy does get
a Ryan pin.
Fault the Ryan pin going through. Brooke not able to get the counter pin through in time to prevent the pin, not able to save point either, and will just get bionated and fall to the hands of the Pharah for his trouble. And again, it's all Tippy's team in the kill feed as it was not a Ryan gap.
Not yet, that is. We're coming up on ults. We'll see.
That's mean. Let them at least get some shatters down first.
Absolutely. We're seeing a shatter being built by Pizza Boy. 83%.
83% in swing and going through. But keep in mind, Andrew does have the barrage of Pizza Bot first up on the shatter. Gets slept for his trouble. Pinned through, but Brooke immediately put to the sleep from Wasabi. Slam! Brooke doesn't get caught in it, but does manage to get 2 down for his trouble. And both teams executing on through, but executing through all of that. Manages to res Wasabi, and Andrew does burn down Anna from the other side. And it's just Brooke's team having to back up and concede space over. But Hollander holding on to the overclock, and Brooke about to come up on a shatter of his own. What? A shatter for a shatter, a soul for a soul. What can Brooke do?
Absolutely. We're going to see which Ryan is superior here. If we get a block shatter, it'd be big. A Nano coming out. Another pin.
Brooke again doesn't have the counter pin, but a Nano Ryan versus regular Ryan. Nano Ryan is going to win out every single time. Executing with the Valkyrie, cover of the Valkyrie. She does manage to get Pizza Bot back up. But both teams kind of coming through, and it was all DPS from the side. Brooke's team coming through. Pizza Bot does eventually fall to Brooke's pin, and it will be a hold in the streets of Kings Row.
Absolutely. That was a big hold they needed. Almost 4 minutes on to the point. Very close to capturing second.
Vert, we cannot officially confirm if it's a Ryan gap or not until the other shatter comes through. All eyes on Brooke to see if it is truly a Ryan gap indeed.
Absolutely, they have to get either 2 or more for the Ryan gap.
For the Ryan gap, as both teams kind of poking through. Rye dropping the orbital ray, shuffling everyone through, and Tippy answers with the overclock in response, falling extremely low through all of that. But it is does manage to find Chris in the end, but all coming through. And yet Brooke just winning out in the Ryan mirror, and through all of that, just big plays from the side of both DPSs.
Absolutely. We're going to see the OC on Brooke's team, however, up and ready. Very lethal on the OC, the rail so far.
Very lethal indeed. Pizza Bot about to come up on a second shatter, almost about to lap Brooke. Brooke going through, gets slept out of the pin. Nade through, block through, and counter shatter through. Pizza Bot was not able to block in time, and Hollander with the overclock manages to find 2 through all of that, and it will be a team kill sounded off for Brooke's team.
Absolutely. I think the Ryan duel mirror right now. Brooke after that, leading towards him.
Leading towards Brooke. Pizza Bot, however, has did get a shatter through offensively, but might be quicker at building the shatter, but Brooke more methodical in this Ryan mirror. Now out on the side of the Pharah, and Nano Barrage coming through, but both on us traded out. Executing can bring Wasabi back, but chooses not to. Instead playing for their life. Wasabi getting off the Ana, going over to the Juno, providing some speed, but again, taking away the Bio Nade that's really been, critical for, in this Ryan here, or at least, controlling these Ryans a little bit more outside of their own counterpins.
Absolutely. Brook very speedy with the charges going in, using that as the movement ability. Also has Shatter, so we're back on looking at the Ryans, seeing who gets it through.
Seeing who gets it through. Ooh, sleeps down, and counter Shatter through, this time for 3. And all of that now to use sticks Tippy while on the ground. We'll turn around, clean up for Wasabi as well, and Brook gets Pizza Bot. Big play from the side of Brook's team, as again, we are holding in the streets of Kings Row.
Absolutely, you gotta give it to Chris. Landing that sleep opens it up for Brook.
Yeah, again, these Anas have been making a huge difference. It was controlling both these Ryans, but Brook's team still have an Ana executing getting off the Mercy, going over to the Kiriko. That cleanse should help lessen the impact of the Anas coming through. Brook shatter through, does manage to get Pizza shatter through, manages to send Brook onto his back, but it is the rest of Brook's team cleaning up with the help of Rise Orbital Ray. All of that to just sustain, and it's just not a use harassing Pizza Bot with the help of Hollander at both DPSs, just harassing the old man on cart, and it will be Brook's team holding Tippy's team in B.
Absolutely. Right now, Brook looking cleaner on the Reinhardt. However, we gotta give it up to Noctis and Holder. They're also holding their own on the DPS.
Yeah, again, not using Hollander. The 1-2 punch. This is just despicable for a DPS lineup.
Yeah, talking about despicable, however, the Anas going unmentioned here. They're pretty clean with the nano and antis here.
Yeah, we talk about the Ryan between Brook and Pizza Bot, but really looking at Chris and looking at Wasabi, the amount of sleeps, nades, other things that basically controlled the Ryans, that didn't let them have free reign and just, terrorizing backlines. As both teams, no one's playing on it now. We're just gonna have an even more honest Ryan of no purples, no bionades. Better Ryan wins.
However, Chris, after my own heart, playing a Life Weaver, probably just for the elevator. You don't normally see it. However, we gotta say, Tippy on the Rat. That's unexpected to see.
Tippy on the Rat. It's just Tippy and Andrew, the DPS on the defense. This should chunk through Brook's shield and chunk down Brook's health if he is playing a little bit more aggressive, not careful with it. And Chris sticking with the Life Weaver as well. So, after your own heart, indeed, Alex.
Already player of the match, Chris. No more needs to be said here.
No more needs to be said, as both teams fighting over the statue, but Nadius, through all of that, manages to come in, find his way through, and burn down Execute.
Absolutely, that's a huge pick-off. However, BAP also has the sustainability for the Reinhardt and his entire team.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's Hollander getting onto the Widowmaker and just placing a bullet in between Wasabi's skull as Brook turns around, hammers down Pizza Bot, and Brook's team will start moving through onto point and start picking up some point progress. As Nadius does fall to Executing off screen, but Brook pins Wasabi going all the way into spawn, leaving his team to fight a Reinhardt alone on point. And shattered!
Styled on.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get for going through to the enemy team. But one big shatter deserves another one, and Brook's shatter is just that much bigger as Will basically secured point for the side of his team.
Why block shatter when you just face tank it?
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Absolutely, but we're coming into the next fight. We'd love to see Brook's position taking so much space away from Tippy and Pizza Boy's team.
Yeah, and really use all the Pell platform in order to let Brook get up and get into some high ground positions. As Execute does burn down Hollander, Nautilus turns around and burns Tippy out of the sky, so it's an even 4v4. But both teams falling back. Pin through from Pizza Bot. Willis and Brook into the wall and will eventually finish him off with the business end of the hammer as Andrew turns around and sends a flashbang into Nautilus, picking up that pesky Tracer.
So like, Hollander makes a switch over to the Genji. It's a bit more risky now that Andrews has the Cass out.
Yeah, with the cast coming through, you just have to be that much more careful. As Tippy turns around, burns the backline down, Wasabi turns around and lasers Brook down as well. And it's just, and again, we are holding strong in the choke of King's Row.
Absolutely, and Pizza Boys / Chippy's team, I'm gonna just say the tank's name, has 4 ults coming up on the board, only 2 on the side of Brooks.
Shatter, sneak shatter, be sure to look both ways before you cross the road as Brook, and then Brook falls. And yeah, just another hold. And this is the infamous choke to kind of break through. You thought breaking through point and getting point A was bad on King Girl? No, this is the heavy dispenser spot to hold. As both teams support ults getting traded through, but beautiful lamp from Wasabi in order to save the life, but it's just not enough as Nautilus lands the pulse bomb and it's breaking through the choke as Brook's team finally break through that close hold.
They break through, but I think it's mainly on Pizza Boy holding W a little too long here. However, got a Genji play. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, Genji Blade. Shatter coming through. Pizza Bot did not check his corners and it will fall eventually as Hollander pulling the blade, dash reset onto Farah, will get another one, and it will be Brooks' team. It will be Brooks' team winning the map, and I believe we are 1-1 in the series.
Yep, that is going to be 1-1 on the series. That Shatter coming from the top ropes. You love to see it.
This is cinema, man. This is cinema. This is pure cinema.
Oh yeah.
Also, I don't know if it was on stream, or not, but there's multiple times when Hollander and Tippy would 1v1. Hollander would teabag Tippy anytime he killed him.
It was on stream.
Holy, it was. It's glorious. This is cinema.
Oh my.
Yeah, but we are tied 1-1, so I'm gonna check in on the losing team, see what map they pick, and we'll get going.
All right.
All right, the question has to be asked though: was there a Rhine gap?
I mean, as the local Rhine connoisseur that I am, I would say, for the most, I just looking based Rhine Gap, no. But if you ask me who had the better day and the better plays on the Reinhardt overall, I would say Brook was probably the stronger Reinhardt.
Yeah, I could agree with that. But either way, we got to see some classic Rhine v Rhine action. And who could be mad with that? Let's be honest.
Can't be mad at that.
If y'all are ready for some NA prod, I forgot that the team Hollander was playing had already won twice. So we're going to move on to Death Blossom's team versus Lunar Eclipse. So I'm going to set them up in their starting lineups, and I'm just going to pick first map for them.
NA prod moments.
NA prod.
NA prod moments.
We got the score at the end.
And we got there eventually.
You're on the same wild wired we are on chat. So
Yeah. Wire. I just cast the game.
we are here. All right. So next two teams coming in. As a person who doesn't know too much about these next two teams, why don't you give us a little rundown on them? What are we looking at? Which players do you think are the most noticeable on these teams?
Well, just going through, we have it's Pickle's team versus Coach Tool's team. Just for Coach Tool's team, I mentioned it in the pre-show. My eyes are on, all eyes on, all eyes on Strider, the DPS player from C9 Eclipse. Big, you know, big hit scan phenom. Should be very entertaining to watch if they let him cook. But you know, Pickle's team, Pickle and Kong, teammates from collegiate coming back together, line it up with Deadeye, who looked phenomenal in the play, who looked phenomenal in DPS in his own right in the playoffs, and Sonarki, the support, coaching for Blackout Eclipse, then Blackout Eclipse last season, coming in this season, earning his way onto Solar Eclipse, a very fearsome support in his own right. It'll be interesting to see both these teams kind of coming through.
Absolutely. And if we want to talk about locked in, Pickles team joining all with the same player icon.
They are locked in indeed.
Whole gang here styling on some folks already. So I gotta ask, is the myth of Pickle C9 true? Or is it just server?
Oh it is true. It happened. It's happened.
All right, so we're looking at the C9 counter already at 1. Let's see how hard we can ramp this one up. Looks like I'm playing on the team for some reason.
Well, yeah, we'll just have to.
That's right, casters are taking over.
It's been a minute since I've played the video game.
Don't worry, my team just blew up. So, well, guess I'm not playing.
We're just getting it through. As both, all right, both teams getting into the lobby now. An opening map of Samoa.
Is there any way I can get an invite to the lobby? Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, is Prod good to go?
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna make sure
All
they're
right.
ready. All right,
I
both
believe-
teams.
Yep.
Well,
You got ours.
yep, I
You're
got
good to
a. Arr!
You're good to send it.
I'm gonna. Well, I'm making sure. All right, here we go. Goodbye.
All right. As we are getting into things, opening up on Volcano, and
Initiating match.
I looking ahead at both teams. we saw some Malgas coming out on the side of Team One on the side of Pickle's team, and I did see a wrecking ball from Coach Tool, aka Daddy OKC, on the side of Team Two, and I am going to have a lot of fun because, oh boy.
Absolutely. We have Lucio Mercy on the side. Who's red team? Because I'm not going to say Daddy every time.
Oh, that's Coach Tool's team, but I'm
Okay.
telling you right, I'm telling you right now, it'll be it'll be a fun one. Lucio Mercy, Geo starting on the Pharah, Battle Josh probably just speeding out and then swapping. Oh, or nope, Reese. She is a Mercy player in her own right, so not a surprise to kind of see. But with the ball comp and everything else, I don't hate the Lucio Mercy from the side of Team Two, as both teams going through. Pickle on the Malga, trying his best to kind of shut things down. But the rest of Coach Tool's team can just kind of surround and cause enough chaos and execute. As I say that though, Khan turns around, Lucio diffs Battle Josh, push off the rip as the point unlocks, and it is Team One kind of sitting, trying, getting first cap going through in their favor. As Daddy OKC comes through, slams through, pops the overshield, pops the adaptive shields, another slam through, this time enough chaos to come through, causes Kong to fall, but Pickle will burn down the wrecking ball. As I say that though, Reese Cup, she does turn around, she manages to res Daddy, and Daddy comes back in for the slam onto Pickle, Sanarki falling really low, has to pop the Suzu in order to save themselves, and it's just coming back through. But Pickle's team does hold the point as Geo turns around, burns down Snarky. That's the majority of the heals down on the side of Team One. Conk following really low will eventually fall to the wrecking ball, and is no supports. JML fighting for their life, but Strider turns around, burns the Genji down, and it's just Pickle on the mouth, having the staying power to really kind of stay installed as Strider sticks the pulse bomb right onto Pickle, and it will be Coach Tool's team finally flipping the point after an extended fight.
Absolutely. Coach's Tool team, you really want to find that opening pick as that just knocking the block piece by piece. That's what this comp wants to do. They don't want to play as one. They just want to find that one weak target, burn it really quick. However, they weren't able to find that, allowing Pickle's team to get 44% on the board.
Yeah, they were able to kind of come through, but immediately Geo popping the barrage, Pickle sends him back to spawn as both teams come through. Reese, with the help of the beat, is able to bring Geo back as both teams coming through. Pickle eventually loses the cage. Later beat out from Comp manages to catch all 5 on the side of Team 1. And JML, through all of that, is able to clip the wings of Reese. So she's back in the spawn. No more reses, and it's just Battle Josh's Lucio in order to try and keep everyone else alive for now. As both teams masters of stalling out on this point and just constantly staying through. No one wants to leave, and it's making these fights extend out for so long as finally, eventually, the ball rolls over the pulse bomb from Deadeye and eventually will fall. Reese, she does manage to burn down JML and pick Geo back up, but it is just a bring the Pharah back in order to stagger out just a little harder.
Absolutely crazy if the Mercy gets the cast, showing who's the true hit scam here. But I'm thinking we're going to see only a 3 to maybe 4 fight map here. These two comps are very good at stalling the point.
Yeah, very good at stalling. And again, Kong coming through with the Lucio Diff Sanarki, turning around with the Kitsune Rush, shuffling everyone in, and a decisive fight from Team 1 in order to make sure that Coach Tool's team isn't able to set up and isn't able to really kind of come through.
Absolutely. We have Cass's High Noon coming out and a Pulse Bomb. Very dangerous ults, especially with no ults on the board on Coach's Tool's team.
Yeah, no ults on the board, but you can build it fast when you're looking at Geo in order to come through. Deadeye manages to send a Pulse Bomb through, Strider falls, but Reese, as she's going for the res onto Strider, falls to JML with the Deadeye, and it is It is a 3v5 as we hit 99%. Deadeye turns around, manages to burn down Geo as well, so no barrage on board. Deadeye gets Battle Josh as well, and it is just Daddy going through, trying to stall as best he can on ball, but Deadeye will eventually burn down the Wrecking Wheel. Pickle turns around, slams Reese back to next round, and it will be Pickle's team 1, getting first cap of Volcano.
Yeah, very back and forth this round. I think it's actually something I wanted to point out. Tracer sticking the other Tracer is absolutely insane.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, it's in the Tracer mirror. You're forcing the recall. You're forcing all the cooldowns out, and that is a tiny hitbox to hit. Very good stick from Deadeye onto Strider.
Looks like the teams are going to stay the same comp. We'd love to see a little more shot calling on the side of Pickle. However, Daddy OC needs to really start calling the targets that are low.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Coach Tool and Strider to kind of come through and link up on the dives. But Geo playing the pharmacy can just chunk people down. That's what you're looking for on the side of Team 2 in order to kind of come through and execute. But JML, with the Cat Flashman, manages to pick Strider off, and Strider falls as the first pick. Very unfortunate for the side of Team 2.
Yeah, that Tracer's going to have a hard time accessing the background, especially if the cast is going to sit on top of it.
Yeah, but Geo turning around, picking off Deadeye. Pickle does crit slam Battle Josh, so Reese can bring the Lucio back if she wants to. Is instead playing safe. If Wrecking Ball coming through, slamming the cast, trying to force a little bit of chaos through, but again, falling really low, does not have adaptive shields, has to disengage through all of that. As I say that out, Geo turns around, picks off Snarky before falling to the hands of JML, and Deadeye is in to punish Reese, so no mercy from the side. Quick trade through, though, from Battle Josh in order to get JML down, but again, Deadeye through, just able to turn around and execute, taking the Lucio, taking the Tracer for his trouble.
So we're going to come up on a DPS alt fight here. Geo with the Barrage and JML with the High Noon. We've seen both them get value here.
Yeah, seen both get value, and Strider switching off of the Tracer, going onto the Sojourn, trying to get some more staying power coming through. As Geo coming through, picks off Snarky. That's the Kiriko down, and another pick onto the Cassidy. Press Q, doesn't die in the barrage, and will force Khan to beat for 3 in order to try and get something through. As the Wrecking Ball mines come through, and Geo is just cleaning up on point. Pickle will eventually fall to the mines from the Wrecking Ball, and 77% on the board before Team 2 managed to turn around and flip it.
Absolutely. Team Tool, you can see the communication working with that slam coming in and followed by the barrage of the rockets.
Yeah.
Really making that fight a fast one, actually.
Yeah, aggro beat from the side of Battle Josh in order to kind of shove people through, but Pickle falling really low and will eventually fall to the slam of the Wrecking Ball. Well, and finally, Battle Josh with that beat, shuffling everyone through, early fight in order to kind of, not let this Malga kind of come through and get some point presence. Because that's where the Malga comp becomes a lot stronger. Cage fight down. Just looks like Battle Josh is caught in the cage, will eventually fall to the hands of the Dynamite. But Reese, she has the Valk, goes for the res, gets booped away before the res animation can go off, so unfortunately loses her resurrect cooldown in the middle of all that, and Deadeye turns around, bonks Strider on the head, eventually sending him back to spawn.
Yeah, Deadeye having much easier time now that the cast isn't on the board. Accessing the targets like the Lucio, the Mercy, putting the pressure on them.
Yeah, putting the pressure on indeed, as Pickle just stands proud on the point, gets a casual 4-piece for his trouble, and flipping it over. And
looks like it could be the final fight territory here soon. I don't think... Oh.
It could be final fight, but Geo falling really low, forces Deadeye to recall out, but someone has to come in and touch eventually. Eventually, the ball comes through, gets the touch in order to get to 99%. Pickle popping the cardiac overdrive will manage to face tank Geo's barrage through all of that and send him back to spawn. And Daddy sending the mine through onto point, but Bob from JML will come through, will burn down Battle Josh for his trouble, and Strider gets brought back into the fight, popping the overclock. What can he get done with it? As Reese, she is tucking, dodging, and weaving through. As Strider turns around, lasers JML down. Eventually, will fall to the slam from Pickle, but not before more chaos can be caused through. But it is Deadeye and Pickle standing on the point, and this Malga is just going to be fearsome. There's only so much stall that one Wrecking Ball and one Lucio can do.
Absolutely, the DPS on both sides making enough disruption, getting their picks off.
Their picks off. Reese this time is able to get the res off onto Battle Josh, and a 4-man beat coming through. Big res as Pickle trap, bringing the cage down. Snarky falling really low, playing in and out of the cage. Eventually is going to fall to Battle Josh, but Pickle and Deadeye are coming through, cleaning up, and finally putting an end to this round, as it will be Pickle's team taking some up.
Absolutely, Pickle's team just being able to sustain through those long fights better. Finds the picks, cleans them up.
C9.
Is it a C9 if the entirety of the team have kind of like fallen?
No, C9. They should have touched point.
Okay.
We have the OWCS chat. Everything's a scene.
All right.
True. I love how close these games are, because you can tell like we picked, the true all-stars were picked. It's happy. Should I keep watching Dr. Stonewall in game? No.
Always.
LOL. Locos just died.
Pickle subbing themselves out.
Put Locos.
That's right. Pickle is coming in
Josh.
for Pickle.
Oh, huge. I am going to be substituting Locos for Battle Josh, so we've got the double Mercy players, man. This is crazy.
The girlies are here to fight.
Sub Pickle for Pickle. Let's see the map pick here in a second. I just got to say, I think the reason Pickle's team's dominating is because they're all matching. I think that's what it is.
I couldn't agree more with that. That's exactly why. They're locked in.
They just asked if they could take Daddy OKC out because they don't want to play with a Wrecking Ball. It's incredible. We are going to Circuit Royale.
Circuit Royale with a ball tank. Now that's an interesting pick right there.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the Wrecking Ball on. Don't take this. I do think the Wrecking Ball on Circuits is an interesting choice for sure. Typically I like the D. Okay, that's kind of cringe. We're gonna get started here, but I think the Wrecking Ball, is like you can run it, especially because they're probably gonna run on a Mercy, maybe. Maybe that's what I'm foreseeing, but could see the Sig too.
You could. Really, what it's coming down to is the fact that you watch map one back. Pickle with the Malga just had the staying power, had the presence to just be able to stand on point and say on the objectives and say, you want to take this from me, you have to come through, you have to break through. The ball team just needs to work so much harder in order to try and find an isolated piece or find an isolated pick in order to come through and execute.
Absolutely, the ball comp had to throw so many resources into killing that Malga.
Yeah. And
I was enabling Frasier.
No. I was gonna. Do you want to watch Freya lobbies take over? I think.
I do. I enabled Frazier for that exact purpose.
All right.
What are the chances we get a spawn hold here?
What are the chances? Depends on what they want. Depends on what the teams want to run. Although considering no hero bans come through, a Juno,
Ready for battle.
a Juno plus plus a very fearsome Ramatra could show face. Although as we're saying that, Pickle taking his turn on the wrecking wheel.
If you say so, don't
Absolutely. Do you think this is going to be an ego thing if they win with the Wrecking Ball?
What you're doing now.
I would not be surprised if Coach Tool sees the ball.
What is Cock doing? Oh, he's leaving.
Making
This
sure
is
they get out of
diabolical.
This is diabolical indeed. As going through, we do have the Widow battle coming through. As Pickle gets immediately chain CC'd in the back line, is able to pop the adaptive health and get out with his life. But as I say that, though, Geo turns around, picks off Deadeye. That's the Sombra down. No more. One less piece of chaos out of the formula.
Yeah, Pickle getting CC'd, playing Overwatch peak right now. Wasn't really able to follow up with the Sombra.
Wasn't able to, and unfortunately, the dive just being out of sync causing them to fall. As I say that though, again, JML falls to the hands of Geo, the new hero of the Freya coming through. JML immediately getting off the Widowmaker, saying, "Nah, it's time to mirror the Freya."
Gonna see 3 lobbies. However, Geo, only person with 2 kills in this lobby.
Only person. Coming up, you can see Geo's about 66% of the way through to the bolas. Beautiful rock. As we are getting the Sigma Mirror coming through, but Deadeye with the mate pops the wall up, forcing some positioning through, and now both teams are executing through. But JML turns around, burns down Strider on the Widow. No one-shot threats anymore for a little bit as both teams poking, prodding through. It's just chaos, but it's chaos coming through. But Coach Tool falls eventually to Deadeye on the May, and Deadeye cleaning up Reese as well on the back end will be a hold.
Freya just better.
Freya just better. Freya, I mean, Freya is just, she is the broken hero right now, and everyone needs to play her, everyone needs to execute. But we do have the Signier coming through. Pickle immediately gets rock, hands through. Ooh. Daddy dodging the rock and will send Pickle back to the ground. Send him back into spawn as well. As Sanarki popping the rally in order to try and brawl a little more. But Reese Cup, she manages to send the Nano out onto the Sigma, and she gets 2 of her own in the meantime. Coach Tool following up, and Strider sending Conk back to spawn, as it will be for cap on A.
Absolutely. The JFK experience is now open. Strider finding the first headshot of the map on that Widow.
Oh no.
Did you say the JFK experience?
That was my co-caster, not me. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. I'm going through. Daddy sending the downtown rock into Deadeye, but unfortunately isn't able to burn him down just enough time. As Pickle coming through, popping the flux, manages to get 2 Locos. She falls to the slam damage, so no mercy res and no Valkyrie in order to shuffle and save everyone through. And Deadeye turning around, picking off Geo as well on the back end, and it should be a hold for Pickle's team on the streets of Circuit Royale.
Absolutely. Pickle getting that beautiful double flux, really having to put the resources in to try to keep that team alive. However, Mercy does go down.
Yeah, Mercy goes down, and unfortunately, this isn't Marvel Rivals. You are not playing Adam Warlock. You cannot res yourself. You have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Are we going to start counting for deaths? Because we got one-on-one.
Now one-on-one as the rock coming through. As the blizzard comes down in order to force Team 2 back as the bullets come through, hits the shield of Pickle, but Reese Cup turning around, picks off Pickle. No mercy on the side of Team 1, so no second chances as they're going through. And Coach Tool picking Sinarchy up, and doesn't even need to slam him back down in order to pick him off as Team 2 are coming through to the end of B.
Absolutely, Daddy showing not. The ball isn't the only thing they can play. Sig going super low. Able to cap second point out.
Yeah, able to cap second as we're going through both Sigmas kind of trading back and forth. Another Maywell up from Deadeye doesn't manage to isolate anyone off, but just forces them a little bit as the purple goes through. Not much going through for the hands of Pickle, and Pickle falling really low. He's getting saved by Conk and Sinarchy's rally, providing a little bit of overhealth, but unfortunately they just have to back up, and Strider through all that turns around, finds JML and manages to pick him off. Therefore no more Freyas. Widow go down, and we're back to good old-fashioned sniper rules.
Absolutely, Widow picking off the other one. Opens up a lot of space on this map, coming into the final corner of this map.
Coming into the final corner as Pickle throws the early rock, but unfortunately does not respect Daddy having the Gravitic Flux. Manages to pick two people up, slam them back down, and through all of that, all the Widows can see each other, but Strider turning around, finding Sinarchy, sending him back to respawn. Pickle gets hit with the Bionade and has to back up, has to give the space to respect. Going through with the Flux, turns around, manages to send Daddy back to the grave, but through all of that, all of the chaos is just Pickle holding strong on point. As I say that though, it's Reese comes JML going through. Strider turns around from downtown, sends the Widow back through, and Reese Grandma gets to just cap point out.
Score.
All 3
Strider.
points, a minute and 30 remaining on the clock.
Strider, after that one headshot, really found their groove, really opened up and allowed that team to capture the third point. Almost 3 picks to win that fight out.
All I have to say is Reese is support role star for yeah. Yummy.
Yeah, man.
Reese good, go Burr.
I don't get the propaganda.
There's no propaganda.
No,
Reese good, go Burr.
Yeah, no, she is good. She is good indeed. But yeah,
No,
we're
the Freya duel, or I say the Freya duel. Geo just on the Freya was diabolical. Went absolutely goober banana butt goop. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, Fran, we're seeing if you watch any bit of OWCS, you do any bit of high Overwatch, it is all Freya all the time. Her uptime with the crossbow, with take aim is, just diabolical. It is what it is. As immediately Pickle gets rocked from downtown and Daddy finishing him off.
Absolutely, you got to give it to Daddy. He has been hot this round. Pickle not finding the same luck on the tank player.
Not finding the same luck indeed, unfortunately. Going the Orisa as JML manages to turn around, pick off Strider, gets the res from Logos, and immediately answers back, says thank you Mercy for bringing me back. I'm gonna at least take the Genji before falling with the Bionade from Sinarchy. And
Absolutely, Sinarchy hitting a big Bionade there, getting 2 players, forcing Daddy's team to go back.
Yeah, and both teams going through. Pickle abandoning the Signier, going over to the Orisa. You can see some more favorability, especially with Conk on the Lucio, wanting to brawl just a little bit more than Team 2. But if it's a range battle and the snipers, it's going to favor the Sigma. As I say that, though, Caster Curse coming through. Strider turns around, picks off Deadeye, and Logo, she does manage to get the res off before falling to the Lucio on the side of Team 1. As the Bola's coming through, Geo manages to stun Conk out, gets Zanarki for his trouble as well before Pickle eventually burns him down. And it is Pickle just spinny spear around a little bit before falling to Daddy.
Absolutely, Geo, you'd love to see that. You got your 2, that's all you needed. It's fine that you fell.
It's fine that you fell indeed, and critically with the Freya passive, that's 2 kills. Geo gets 1 more. He's gonna get an instant boost of 25 bolt charge onto his next round of bolas, and there you go.
Finds it again.
Yep, there you go. Picks off JML. Oh, Strider does fall to Pickle. Oh, but Loco's coming through. She gets drugged in from the Terra Surge, and it will eventually fall as well, but quickly traded around as Daddy sends a rock into Pickle. Geo picks Conk off as well, but it's just Deadeye. It's just Deadeye and Coach Tool standing strong on the point, but one tank is able to hold the space just that much better, and has to force the rest of Team 1 back.
Was that a fat finger?
No, maybe.
That was super early. However, forced the gold.
Yeah, force the gold. Sure. As JML popping the sights down, we'll manage to pick off Geo. We'll turn around, get Reese, we'll make that a 3-piece. Why not, JML?
Oh, someone checked their PC. That was 4 headshots in a row.
Headshot after headshot after headshot. Pickle, how dare you steal the rightful 5K from JML.
Hello.
That
was just crazy. 4 headshots. You don't see that too often.
The JML surprise in chat. Yeah, that. Everyone say thank you, JML, for winning that point out. As I say that, though, Geo immediately answering back for 2. Zanarki falls as well. That's another charge up of the passive. So as soon as Geo pops the bolas, you're gonna see an instant 25 ult charge going through to the next bola as well. Holy. One massive DPS play deserves another in return. As JML popping up, trying to find something there, doesn't manage to rip anyone's head off just yet. As Geo doing the Freya stall up in the air. As Deadeye popping the blade, we'll turn around, we'll get Strider down, gets Logos as well.
If you like DPS, this is a lobby to watch. DPS absolutely mental with both their ults and their skills here.
Yeah, I mean, Deadeye said.
What am I watching?
I think.
Deadeye said, "Hold my beer. I'm going for the 5K." Doesn't even need the nano.
JML gets a 4K, Geo gets a 3K, Deadeye gets a 5K. I've seen it all.
Okay, at this point, like. 3 of my 4 DPS players have had a pop-off moment. I mean, all eyes on Strider. Is he gonna have his moment as well? As the Nano gets ripped onto Pickle, will eventually pick him up. Deadeye falls, and Strider turning around gets Strider for 2, popping the overclock. Can he get any more done? Yep, there you go.
What is happening?
Strider found their mark.
There you go. Yep.
The play of the game is gonna go mental on this lobby.
Yeah.
Who do you pick from?
I mean, like I said, each of these DPS players showing why they are all-stars for CGL Season 15. Each one of these 4 having their own individual pop-off moment. As I say that, though, Pickle coming through, spin in, drag everyone in, and Daddy falls to the boop from Conk. JML turning around, picking Reese off, and it will be Pickle's team Cap in point 2, going all the way into point 3.
Absolutely. However, Coach Tool's team has the time bank here.
Yeah, you do have to finish it as Pickle choosing for the major part, choosing to take the shield, so it'll be shield battles as we're going through. Should favor a little bit more in this poke mirror. As again, Pickle holding space, shuffling forward with the payload. Early gold out, rocked out, but Bionade turning around. Strider falling low, eventually backs up and will burn down Pickle for his trouble. Oh, and yeah, Lucio B coming through, but wasn't in time to save the tank.
No, and they gotta be real conservative on it if they die here or if they use an ult here. It's coming up almost on final fight territory. 1 minute left on the board here.
Yeah, final 60 seconds coming through, and unfortunately, this is just coming down. It's gonna come down to can either one of these DPS players make another hero play? Nanoblade. Yeah, Nanoblade out. Strider, but turning around, Strider manages to pick off JML. Deadeye does get one, but Locos, she brings Geo back with the res, and it's just chaos coming through. Strider popping the Deadeye with the Nano, picks off Pickle, picks off Comp, and
there is no need to flex that hard on that Lucio. An electric cowboy into a high noon. That Lucio was beyond dead.
Yeah, Strider on his signature Cassidy. You have to pay respects. But Pickle does have a terror surge coming up. But can it be enough in order to shuffle through? Coach Tool does have a Gravitic Flux, can pick people off, and eventually Strider picks off Pickle. That's the terror surge down, no mercy on the side of Team 1 in order to bring it back. Daddy OKC popping the Flux, and it is all Coach Tool's team in the kill feed. And this should be now we should be evening up 1-1 as Strider sends a flashbang into JML. No touch, no final touch. We are going the distance.
Absolutely, Pickle. Tool, 1-1 on the map. No C9s, though. However, a great display of DPS prowess.
A great display. Oh, it's all right. Which DPS play was it going to be? It's going to be JML. It's going to be JML's arguable team kill. That's 2, 3. Pickle does steal it.
Now, that's something I could never do.
Oh, no. I couldn't do it either. Not, I have what we like to call in the business main tank game.
Listen, I'm right there with you as a main support. I don't aim, I just click abilities.
Map 3, Reese coming in, she's saying scrims.
Or back Rick. Classic scrims. No. All right, as we let the players get freshened up. What do you think the Pickles team could have done better there?
I mean, you saw Pickles team kind of come through. Honestly, you like to see kind of them adjust with the Lucio, with the Orisa, trying to kind of brawl a little bit more. Unfortunately, when you're playing into the poke, into the poke from Strider, from Geo, you kind of just need to, accept that it's gonna be a Sigmir and take it on the chin. Like, I like the idea. I like the strat that they were trying to execute and trying to make it happen, but unfortunately, just not enough.
Now, me and you both see this. We're on King's Row again. Odds of getting Ryan 1v1 again?
Well, if Pickle gets back, I wouldn't be. I could see it.
There's no bans, by the way.
There's no bans.
No, like, yeah, we don't do bans. We're not doing bans right now. Alright. I should just ban Freya, though, low-key.
I mean,
Low-key, that was ridiculous what I just watched on my screen. It's like
yeah.
Magomed all over again.
I should have been all the DPS. Like, everyone was popping off.
Even though Wi-Fi is C9ing? Oh no.
Haven't had a C9, only one so far.
King's Row.
I'm looking for more.
Initiating match.
Trying to see if we can encourage these teams to Ryan Mir.
Spectators actively asking.
Ready for battle.
Unfortunately, we only see Pickle on the Rhine, Daddy on the Winton.
But keep in mind, he is in the attacker spawn.
They are. Absolutely. Is that a Valiant Green I see right there? It is. I am now a Pickle fan.
If you are,
We just might see the game end before first point.
I mean, come on, play Reinhardt. You won't play Ryan Cowards. And
Defend objective A.
Alright, they are cowards. They're playing Winton.
Daddy is currently teasing us. Will not play Reinhardt.
Won't give
No
the
lo-
fans what they want.
No longer making all of the funny haha jokes in this prod. As I say that though, JML does get battle job, does pick off the Ana immediately, forcing Reese Cub to burn the res a little early, but Strider playing the statue eventually will grapple up onto high ground, forcing Pickle to basically kind of hold his shield and be very selective on when he puts it down in order to take the Rhine mirror. As I say that though, it will be Team 2 moving through, getting the toesies onto point as Pickle eventually comes through. But the Winton falling really low, needs to jump out. Pickle pinning in towards the backline will eat a sleep for his trouble as Strider turning around, picking off Synarchy. No mercy res from the side of Pickle's team, and one shot to change the world. We saw it. There's the reason why the Mandata statue is there, and one shot will open up this point.
Absolutely. There's not anything Pickle could have done there. Coach Tool's team had the angles, has the monkey. You can't really do anything on the Rhine.
Yeah, you unfortunately can't, and Pickle giving up, going into a monkey mirror instead. As I say that though, will eventually fall to Geo and Strider popping the sights early, and Pickle getting off the monkey, going over to the Malga that brought him success on map 1 in order to try and force the issue a little more as we're going into the streets. Strider eats a Bionade from Synarchy, will fall. Geo does trade it back for Deadeye, so it is a 4v4, and as Reese, she gets the res off onto Strider, but Pickle gets Nano, will immediately run in, but Gio with the bolas turns around, finds Kong. That's a Lucio down. Snarky's next to go, will eventually fall to the monkey, and just needs to kind of pick up. Pickle needs to just play for his life and give space.
Absolutely. Pickle's team falling first so many different times, kind of got staggered out there. Points almost to second.
Yeah, going almost a second as JML does get Gio, but Gio turning around, getting two, and Reese gets the res off as well, and Strider just holding strong on the Widow, saying you don't get to come into my sight lines. As Pickle coming through, eats the Bionate, eats the bolas, and Battle Josh will burn Pickle down. As Snarky trades back for Strider, but Gio will find him in the end.
Right now, trades aren't in favor of Pickle's team. They need to regroup as one because they keep getting picked off. Gio is now out in spawn. We're seeing a Diva switch from Daddy.
The Diva coming through, big 30-man Bionate from Battle Josh. Anyone coming in to follow up? Unfortunately not. And
Can't die.
yeah,
There it is.
Daddy. I just saw some hilarious things on my screen. The Diva went off the map, but because the cage held him there, did not die, was eventually able to fly, use the boosters to stall and move back up, as Strider will just jump off the map in order to reset with the rest of his team.
We see Pickle switching over to the Zarya. Very good inside the Diva.
Yeah, at this point we are literally my tanks are playing tank roulette. No honest Rhyme mirror. Instead, we're just having Counterwatch.
Absolutely, we're seeing peak rank gameplay right now.
Yeah, peak ranked gameplay as Deadeye turns around, picks off Gio. Reese, she is able to get the res off onto the Freya in order to turn around. Nano onto the Freya as both teams opening up a JML with the overclock does turn around, manage to burn down Battle Josh, and the rest of Pickle's team will hold strong as team kill horn sounds, and we are still holding 3 minutes and counting on the clock.
Talking about it. We see Orion switch.
And now, eventually, maybe we will get an honorable Ryan mirror.
Let's see, Zarya still semi-charged.
Still semi-charged, but both teams coming through. Ooh, Bola's down, managing to force Reese to use the Bionate early to save herself. Strider falling really low through all of this, but both teams just backing up, giving the space over. Pickle falling really low. Battle Josh will boop and send the Zarya back to spawn.
Team Tools counting those bubbles correctly. Burns the Zarya. Way overextended there.
Way overextended. Strider turning around, picking off Deadeye, and it will be the Ryan eventually brawling through. We make it to the end of King's Row. 2 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock for Coach Tool.
Absolutely. Pickle, however, definitely holding third much better. It was almost 5 minutes on the time bank. Narrowing that down to 2. It is very doable now.
It is doable, but you do need to finish the map now. Pickle in chat a little late on the Rhine.
The mind games are peak, chat.
The mind games are peak, but just give me a Ryan near. That's all I'm asking.
Ready.
Nope.
What?
Hey, don't respect that.
Nope. I mean,
You're going to see a brawl on the side of Pickle's team going back to the ball on Tool.
going back to the ball, and I like this defense from the side of Coach Tool.
Really? I'm almost the exact opposite. I do not love the ball in this defense.
I mean, essentially what it's asking to do is to kind of like sit there, cause enough chaos in order to kind of come through. you really do need to look to Pickle's team on the attack to kind of break through, find a target, and just run them down as the Ramatra. But if the rest of Team 2 can cause enough chaos, it is holdable.
All right, let's see which prediction comes true here. Ram finally touching the point.
Ram finally touching the point, but again, eating the Freya take aim bolts super early, has to get chunked into the form. Eventually, we'll get slammed. We'll eat the dynamite as well. Oh, poor Pickle. He's just eating all of the CC trying to come through.
Absolutely, and with these angles, you're gonna have your Freya try to pick someone off because your Ram cannot stay on this point.
Yeah, the Ram can't stay through, and unfortunately, Pickle just eating all of the CC eventually falls to the Bionade and the shots from Battle Josh on the side of Team 2 as both teams coming through. Another big slam in, just causing enough chaos, causing just everyone to look at the ball, waste time, waste resources on him. As Bionade come through, Deadeye falling really low, eventually doesn't have enough follow-up to burn him down and will fall through. But Daddy picks off the Mercy picks off Conk on the Mercy. No Valk, no res on the board. As Geo does fall, gets brought back by Reese, and Bola's traded through, doesn't manage to find anyone, but Strider burns Pickle down in the meantime, so no tank. Conk popping the Valkyrie, using the extra movement, trying to just sustain, coming through, and Pickle giving up on the Ram, mirroring the ball instead.
Yeah, you absolutely would have loved to see that come out sooner. These angles have been lethal for Pickle.
Yeah. And coming through, Deadeye does pick off Strider. Reese, she does get the res off, and she pops the later Valk now with the chain sustain coming through. As I say that though, JML and Deadeye turning around, picking up Battle Josh and Geo respectively, as both teams coming through. Final. Pickle
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see a recontest, however, though. Ball is looking for it.
Yeah, and big slam coming through, just giving 2 teaks but no more, and Strider sending Bob through, and even though Snarky popping the support ult down, doesn't manage to come through, as Bob just sits on the point and holds it for them. As Reese, she lives long enough to tell the tale, she gets the res off onto Battle Josh, and it is Coach Tool picking Deadeye off at the very end. 2 ticks, but that's it.
6 and a minute left. We're coming into final fight territory. Daddy with some alts. Only one on the side of Pickle's team is JML with the OC.
With the overclock, and Pickle abandoning the ball, going over to Diva, trying to at least eat some of these dynamites, deny some of the value. Oh, just a little bit more, but all eyes on JML. What can he get done with this overclock? As Snarky falls immediately to the dynamite from Strider, Kunk brings him back as the Mercy. And JML turning around, falling really low, rail headshot into Strider. She brings Strider back, so no more reses on the table. It'll be good. It'll be honest Overwatch from here on out. As Khan popping the Valkyrie, trying to shuffle through. Ooh, and Geo turning around, picking off Snarky. Khan does have the sustain with the Mercy Beam in order to come through. And Pickle eats Geo's bolas. Big eat from the side of Team 1, but both teams coming through. Strider turning around, picking off JML. Oh, stopping the overclock, and it strikes Geo, picks off Khan, and it is all over. Pickle just popping the self-destruct in order to get something done. Will manage to find the wrecking ball of all of that, and big sleep from Battle Josh onto Geo, onto Geo. But that's about it. As Reese, through all of that, manages to get the res off, bring the wrecking ball back. That's a huge res. And Battle
Josh finding.
But Conk getting another res. Pickle managing to get back into mech. Daddy slams Conk into next week, and Strider sends Bob in. Isn't on point, but will just be able to get test, and it should just be it. Pickle eventually gets broken out of the mech. Baby Diva just trying to pistol through, but that will be it It will be Coach Tool's team winning Kings Row and holding it out. Holding.
That fight could have gone either way at the end there.
Yeah. As watching the play of the game, JML, beautiful.
All right, we're gonna move quickly to our next game, so I gotta get back into VCs.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be holy crap, I forgot. It slipped my brain. Okay, so I have it in announcements. Right. Need to fear. My itinerary is here. Tippy's team versus Pickle's team.
Tippy versus Pickle, gotcha. But yeah, what a series, what a way to end that map off with just constant versus constant chaos.
Absolutely. After the ball dying to the Diva, I thought that was going to be first point unlocked. However, wasn't the case in there.
Yeah, we talk about these DPS players, but the reses from Conk and Reese really, when they happened, who they brought back, really changing the way the fights were dictating out.
Absolutely. When I signed up for this, I wasn't expecting as much Mercy, but the Mercies have been clean this round. Almost game changing, you would say.
Yes, and Mercy, not again like the rank special, not a hero that you're typically thinking of as like all that impactful, but that's the power of support. That's the power of the role, just having the right ability to come off at the right time.
Absolutely.
Going through getting the lobby set back up for the next round, and I need to take another sip from my water because holy,
Going crazy with the play-by-play casting, especially with those longer fights. Those take your breath away. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
So as my host gets rehydrated, only one C9. I was promised more with Pickle's team. Didn't see it.
I mean, one C9 in game and Pickle C9 from his team.
There's a C9 in their hearts.
C9. Fake out. Ugh. But yeah, just brilliant play from both teams, kind of coming through as as I'm getting rehydrated, ready to go.
Getting called out in chat. I just got here.
Hold on. I think it's because we have like max spectator. Yeah, it's because we have max spectators right now.
We do have max spectators.
Hey, I don't make the rules for how the Overwatch lobby system works. Hype my outlets.
All right. Doesn't look like I'm welcomed on this team.
Ah.
That's
Oh.
fine. I'm done playing.
All right, that's put the retirement post out.
Absolutely. Time to put that retirement post out. Time to hang up the mouse. It's Unk's turn and he's done.
Uh,
In a dramatic episode, we're gonna do one more map between the two winning teams. Decide who's the best.
gotcha.
That would be Coach Tool's team and Brooks' team. Let's
And we're going to Busan to end it all.
true. So true. Wait, was Executing with Brooke or with Tippy?
Executing is Tippies.
What other supports?
Your supports for Brooks' team are Ryan and
Battle.
yeah.
You know, Tippy's team lost. I need Coach Tool's.
Wait, you need Coach.
Brooke.
It was Brooke versus Coach Tool. I be forgetting things, chat.
We are lost in the sauce.
It's classic NA prod.
I'm just gonna get the people out who aren't.
Yeah, we should just remove whoever is not playing this last map. We need to get going.
Alex, Pizza Pie. think's gonna win there?
Who do I think would win? Even I can't remember.
Truth be told, if we were having a poll, I'm rooting for Brook.
Rooting for Brooke. I
like their play style just a little more than I like Tools, but Tools has surprised me with their team.
it's really gonna come. It's gonna come down to who, who's executing.
Right now, we're having the purge of the spectators.
Yeah, well, need to get rolling.
We are out for blood. Spectators go away.
Because both teams coming through one map to decide it all for our all-star event.
So it's just one map. We're just playing Busan.
Yep, I believe we're just playing
one map.
Busan.
Traveling to Busan.
All right. Yeah. So this is for all the chickens right here.
Initiate
For all the marbles. Now,
That's the thing.
yeah. So I'm looking through. We're going to downtown. And we know from the first time that Coach Tool's team played Samoa that they liked the Wrecking Ball.
Absolutely. This map, especially downtown, very usable for Wrecking Ball, but very reusable for dive in general.
Yeah, but
ready
Strider,
for battle.
a Strider on the Widow, just Strider on the Widow. He's, we saw him pop off on Survey Royale on this hero. We saw him find opening picks. Do not doubt this man when he's playing the Purple French Lady. Totally not biased as a teammate.
5,
Absolutely. However, Hollander and Nodis
2,
were on fire on that King's Row, especially when Brooks setting up the slams. We're going to see a dive v dive coming here.
Yeah, dive coming through indeed, but Locos and Battle Josh on the Mercy Weaver support lineup. A little bit more interesting as Brooke coming through has the early bubble falling really low, does eventually make it back around the corner for Chris in order to send some paper through to heal him up, but Wrecking Ball coming through causing enough chaos. Brooke jumps up, unfortunately bubbles a little too early, does not have his bubble land on the high ground, so has to drop down in order to save himself, but Battle Josh falling really low. Brooke eventually hunts down his prey, but Strider turning around, picking off Nadi, one shot, one kill, gets traded out by Brooke though. In the meantime, as Geo opening back up onto Hollander, it's 4v4 or 3v3 as both teams kind of coming through, but Team 1, Brooks' team, in possession of the point right now. The Wrecking Ball and the Mercy trying their best to come through. Chris eventually sends a kunai straight into Locos' head. She eventually falls, and it will just be everyone else kind of backing up, saving face.
Absolutely. Brooke was able to capture point. Their team able to anchor locations much better than Tool's team can. However, Team Tools relying on that pickoff potential by Geo.
Yeah, relying on that pickoff potential, but Strider getting off of the Widow, going over to the Cassidy, having a little bit more staying power, having something else to threaten the dive, threaten the Tracer, coming in and execute. As I said that though, Chris falls. Locus, she pops the Valkyrie in order to shuffle the rest of her team through onto point, but Geo turns around, picks off Rye in the backline. Brooke popping the Primal Rage in order to try and get some stuff done, and eventually will cause enough chaos for Nadius to turn around, follow up, and pick off the Cassidy. In the meantime, Nadius sticks Battle Josh as well off screen, but that two-piece will be enough as Daddy turns around, picks off Hollander. That is the Freya down, and no mercy for the side of Team Brooke. There's no res to come and bring back the Freya early. As point flips, mines down through, zoning the rest of Brook through, and Strider turning around, sending the monkey back to spawn.
Absolutely, Geo coming up big in these fights, finding those crucial picks to open up everything.
And just eventually kind of opening up battle platform down doesn't look like Strider is able to get to high ground. I think that platform might be glitched out.
Someone has to call maintenance because that is not working. Talking about not working, Hollander going down.
Hollander going down to the hands of Battle Josh. Strider dueling, not a use on point, will eventually turn around and say, nope, go back to spawn. This is my point.
High Noon coming out super early. Finds
Super early.
Hollander.
Yeah, gets his one. Can't ask for much more than that. As Geo popping the bolas as well, and doesn't manage to find much with it, but will get an instant 25% ult charge going through in his favor. As thoughts down from Chris, shuffling everyone through, ball slamming in, causing enough chaos in order to stall through, and Brook does turn around, dives, gets Geo down, beat out for all 5 as Geo does get res back in, but Hollander and Brook answering back. Hollander for 3. Yep, why not? Why not Hollander eventually showing off the new hero? Daddy just slamming on point, trying to save as much time, but will eventually fall to the Kiriko.
Absolutely, Hollander, Geo, these 3 hub players are the ones you're going to look at to open these things up for their team, showing that as a key example last fight.
Showing it indeed. Hollander does have a bull of his own, and as soon as he sends it off, we'll get another bonus 25% ult charge off the rip. Geo falling really low, has to eventually back up in order to not fall to the dive coming through from Brook, as Hollander dropping the bullets, doesn't manage to find anyone, but we'll just get another 25% back. Brook, Primal Rage, trying to cause some chaos is going through. Will force Battle Josh's tree out, but Strider turning around, picking off Hollander, stopping the bounty hunter in his tracks as the point flips back in favor of Coach Tool, and Strider pops the dive, managing to get 1 onto Brook. Will answer back for Rye as well as Geo turns around, picks up another 2 of his own, and it should be Coach Tool's team taken downtown.
Absolutely, Geo and Strider coming alive to clean that up. Tool taking map 1.
Exactly. And as we open up into Mecha Base, this is Mecha Base. A lot more defined lanes, but a lot again could work out with the Wrecking Ball. But I like this heavier dive look coming through. Not a use on the Tracer. Hollander going over to the signature Genji of his, and Brook on the monkey. This is a Brook's team running this very fast 5-hit int.
Absolutely, very fast, looking to close the gap on that Mercy Life Weaver, doing so much healing, keeping everyone alive.
If Daddy coming through early roll through, early adaptive shields in order to kind of cause enough chaos, and through all of that, not a use turning around, executing Strider in the backline. And Battle Josh turned around, picks off Chris. That's the bulk line of the healing down for the side of Brook's team. But both teams come through. Not a use answering back, finds Battle Josh, finds Geo, getting into the backline, causing enough chaos. Locos, she's trying to be sneaky, will eventually fall to a dash from Hollander, and Strider just needs to back up.
Absolutely, point comes in for Brook finally. Daddy, try not to die. Life Weaver pulls him in. Gonna survive that.
Yeah. Thank you for the pull out from Weaver. But
Absolutely, this comp is so much faster. Definitely looking for that backline. Definitely looking for Strider.
yeah, Strider just coming alive onto his signature Cassidy, and that's probably the easiest target you can sit down and get on top of. As I say that though, Strider turning around, picking off Brook, no mercy, so no res. Geo turns around, gets Chris gets Chris for his trouble. Hollander does burn down Battle Jock, but all before Strider can turn around, pick off Rye before eventually falling to not a use.
Absolutely. Point comes in for Tool's team. You're going to see a regroup on Brook. Right, we do have a Genji Blade coming up on the side of Hollander. However, mine's coming out.
Mine's out in that choke and will basically force Brook's team to back up and burn resources early. As I say that though, Dragon Blade through, finding Battle Josh. Eventually, Chris will turn around and send a kunai into the Weaver in order to send him back to spawn. It's just Locos. She is about to come up onto her own Valkyrie and just survive it. As Strider turning around, sending a flashbang into Chris. That again, Kiriko down, and no Kitsune rush, no real bolt heals coming through. As Ride dropping the sound barrier, and Locos, she manages to pick Strider back up through all of that bunch of overhealth thanks to the Tree of Life from Battle Josh, and it will just be Coach Tool's team holding the point strong.
Absolutely. Interesting note from the Life Weaver. Has the pedal perk. When he dies, he gets basically a small health pack up. Very useful for Daddy.
Yeah, just it's essentially picking up your own mega health pack. That's 250 HP right there just for your own teammates. As Brook gets slammed down, drops the healing bubble, but that's not enough to save you when the bounty hunter is going through. Locos, she goes for the res, but will fall in the middle of that. Strider popping the Deadeye, trying to stall out for as much time. Will find Hollander for his trouble. Gets a second one off the rip. Why not? Okay, Strider. And Strider gets pulled back onto high ground as he is not a use. Flashbang through Brook trying his best, but that will be it. It will be Coach Tool's team taking Busan 2-0.
The only thing that Coach Tool's team can win is an all-star event because, just to remind y'all, he was second place to Solar Eclipse Grand Finals. But I mean, really good performance from all teams together considered. Really fun event. This is really fun to watch.
Fun to watch indeed, as we're watching Strider come through and clean it up. Thank you, Mr. Strider, for winning that point over.
Absolutely. We love seeing clicking heads here, especially done like that.
Yeah. Well, I believe we are getting ready to move on to our next round of events. So, Cloud, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are taking a prod break.
A small prod break, and then we're just going to start with the Tracer 1v1s.
Gotcha. All right. I need a minute to go refill my water because holy, some of these extended battles.
Yeah, bravo to you. I don't know how you did that for that long.
Chaos incarnate.
Are we just heading in?
Still grabbing a few people, but we'll be starting very soon.
Oh no. I was gonna say I do not play Widow at all.
It's Tracer first. Are you guys in the lobby?
Yeah, we're physically in the lobby.
We're fighting.
In the new lobby?
I think it's the same lobby.
No, we're all in a new lobby.
Oh, I'm playing 1v1s for some reason.
Yeah.
Can you guys join on me, please?
I do not have you friended.
Hold up. Give me a sec. Let me join on you and I'll invite.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, caster v caster.
Oh god.
That's a match no one wants to see.
I was gonna say I may or may not have secretly been working on my tracer.
Listen, I'm good,
And,
man.
It's okay. These days when I kind of play DPS, I'm just a glorified tracer OTP.
Put me down, please. Nobody wants to see this. This is gonna be the worst thing you ever seen.
No, you didn't want to see me on Widow. Widow is ugly.
Dude, then we can have the longest Widow 1v1 if you want.
Ugh.
Let's hold this stream hostage.
Oh.
First to 5. We're never gonna get done.
I will be right back. I'm gonna change my headphones.
Oh, looks like we are starting.
We are
Okay.
heading in.
Perfect. Y'all have fun. Goodbye.
Adios. Alright. Tracer 1v1s. Noctis versus Deadeye. So far, recall not forced. Everyone full health.
Everyone
Holy
full health. But as both tracers are fighting over in the cafe, trying their best to force the other one through. Not you first to recall, but both tracers recalled about the same time. But Deadeye falling really low, and not you will win the first round. Both teams.
Neither one wanted to peek from statue.
Neither one wanting to peek, trying their best to be sneaky. Not is able to burn Deadeye down. It forces Deadeye to recall first, but not use quickly following afterwards. Both tracers fighting through the cafe, trying, poking, prodding. This time,
Absolutely.
duking around statue. Not use first to recall this time, as it's extending outwards.
Cooldown management is going to be huge during these Tracer 1v1s, especially that recall.
Exactly. Who can force it first? Deadeye first to recall. Nadu still hasn't recalled yet. We'll recall now, and the later recall. And Deadeye falling really low. Nadu will finish him off.
He's getting 2 in a row.
Yeah, not use on his signature tracer. We'll eventually clean up Deadeye in the end, going up 3-0 in this series.
Ooh, Deadeye gets their one.
Yeah, Deadeye answering back. Neither tracer recalling there, but either way, Deadeye moving up to high ground. Tracer's going through, duking it out in the cafe. Recalls fourth on both sides as both tracers executing through. Ooh, Nadi's really low. Just has to play Ring Around the Rosie, waiting for the healing pass to kick in, and Deadeye just gets to kind of go through. Early recall doesn't manage to get much health. Manage to pull much health back. Will force Deadeye to recall, and Deadeye, will eventually win it out.
Absolutely. Nadio's going down super low for a while there.
Yeah, unfortunately, by the time Nadi's just had to kind of play Ring Around the Rosie and wait for the health to come back as both tracers recalled out. Oh, Deadeye still really low. Nadi can turn around, execute. Both tracers right there, but Deadeye will even it up. It is 3-3.
Deadeye pulling this back into the game. Tracer not known for the long distance, so it's interesting these two players are just staring at each other.
They're just staring at each other, but both these tracers do have to respect each other. Not use recall early. Deadeye still hasn't been forced to recall yet, and still has a good chunk of health. Maybe making the risk. Will eventually recall as both tracers poking, prodding, going around each other. Going through another scuffle coming through. Both tracers coming through. About even. Not use first to recall. Deadeye will recall shortly afterwards. But both tracers falling really low. This is a blink and clip territory. As Nadi's turning around, will find the pick onto Deadeye to even up and pull ahead.
Ooh, Nadio's going super low. Has to recall early.
Has to recall. Just trying, has to recall. Yeah, eventually go through. Deadeye recalling a little bit later, but Nadi's falling really low. Wait for that pass to come through. But Deadeye will just clip him and even it up.
4-4 now.
4-4 in the series. Deadeye first to recall this time, and Deadeye turns around, bonks Nadi to end it, pulling ahead.
Deadeye moves on.
Yeah.
Nadio's coming up with an early lead, though.
Yeah, and I just Nadi's really prolific tracer in his own in his own right for Lunar Eclipse. Just on the day, in the moment, just lost it to Deadeye. As we're going into the next Tracer battle, Shadow versus Uncontinued.
I'm here with a breaking NA prod. It's the next game matchup is going to be Uncontinued versus Shadow. Cloud Reese apparently had to go do something real fast, so you'll have to put that in. I think Pickle gave you lobby leader. It's going to be first to 5. It won't stop it automatically, so you'll have to stop it yourself.
Okay. Are we going in any particular order, or?
It's Uncontinued versus Shadow to start.
Okay. And then the next one, we're just whoever.
Yeah, I'll tell you. He'll tell you next.
Okay.
Thank the big first 5.
Welcome to Lijiang Night Market.
First to 5. I'm gonna check the profiles.
Uncontinued, I'm not as familiar with, but Shadow, I do know him a little more. Tank player for Vengeful Platypus in CGL Underneath Masters, and Shadow will turn around. We'll get the first pick. We'll get the first pick in this Tracer duel.
Alright, Uncontinued only has about an hour played on Tracer for this season. However, he's a top 500 support player.
Top 500 support player, but Shadow coming through. That's my coach coming through, showing what's what on this Tracer.
Actually, up 2 right now.
Up to as both Tracers coming through. About even help. Neither Tracer recalling just yet. Uncontinued first to recall Shadow. Recalls just a bit later, but both Tracers about equal in health, but Uncontinued turns around, will even it up. As both Tracers duking it out in the open. Uncontinued first of all recalls Shadow recalling shortly afterwards, going down to about equal health but about half health each. Uncontinued playing a little bit safer. Shadow trying to juke around, going into the cafe. Both Tracers are absolute, but Uncontinued will spray down Shadow and will even up the series 2-2.
So these 2 Tracers fighting to just pressure out that recall first. There it is.
Yeah, Uncontinued recalling really early. Shadow still holding on to his recall of his own. Will recall now and will have that much more health. Uncontinued falling really low. Shadow eventually will hunt down his prey.
Absolutely. These 2 Tracers just pressuring each other. It's much less footwork than the last group we saw.
Yeah, much less footwork. Again, Uncontinued the first to recalling fairly early. Shadow following suit about a second or two afterwards as both Tracers going over to the cafe, eventually fighting around, trying their best. And Shadow in the middle of the cafe will burn down Uncontinued to go up and make it to match point.
Absolutely. However, uncontrolled.
Yeah, Uncontinued recalling for Shadow, recalling shortly afterwards, but Uncontinued with the earlier recall catches Shadow with his pants down and will get another point up in the series.
Absolutely. We're looking at the final battle here. No, Shadow's still at match point.
Yeah, Shadow's still on match point, but both Tracers recalling about the same time. Shadow's still falling really low. Juking around the statue fall is about 1, and Uncontinued will even up. Last one for all the marbles. Both Tracers poking and prodding. And Uncontinued falling low. Will recall for Shadow still holding on to the recall about half now, still holding on, trying his best to get through. Recalls about now to about half HP, but Uncontinued about a third. Uncontinued falling really low. Ooh, a second recall Shadow, but Uncontinued comes in, blink, melee, executes. Uncontinued takes it 4-5.
Looking really dicey for Uncontinued, but able to pull that back.
Yeah, just the blink in bonk on the head to execute Shadow.
Absolutely, it's a blink and you miss it type moment.
Yeah.
Okay. The next matchup is going to be Andoryu versus Cupid.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna check Cupid's profile.
Does anyone have Vendor you added? I don't see him in the lobby.
Do not. Um,
Greetings!
oh, as Andrew and Cupid both confirming they are ready to go. We are in.
Absolutely, we're in and already pushing the gas here.
And yeah, Andrew burning Cupid down, falling real low, has to recall early. But Andrew with the later recall doesn't get as much health back as they say that though. Andrew burns Cupid to quickly take the first point on the board. Both Tracers now, and early recall. Cupid still holding on to it. Cupid doesn't even need to recall. Blink melee, one clip combo into even it up.
Fun fact about these two Tracers, Cupid has double the time of Andrew, 42 minutes to 20 minutes.
All right, this season or all time?
Just this season. Just
this season. Okay. As both taking a quick smoke break, union mandated 5. Eventually getting back into it, and Cupid will pull ahead of Andrew to get an extra point up. Cupid on a 2-win streak, and both Tracers recall about the same time, but Cupid falling really low, and Drew evens it up and will bring it back 50-50. As both Tracers poking product through Cupid, first to recall, and Drew doesn't even need to recall. We'll just one-click Cupid and send him back to pull ahead. Andrew early recall, Cupid recalling shortly afterwards, but about even on the health as both Tracers falling really low. And Drew gets the blink, gets the melee in to finish off Cupid. Will pull into match point. And
Cupid gets it.
Okay, Cupid. Evens it up just like that. And are we gonna have another repeat? Cupid early recall, first recall, Andrew recalling second, but Cupid falling really low. Andrew juking around the statue, Cupid falling really low, and Andrew finishing it off.
Heavy.
Tippy and JML. Okay. This will be
Tippy with 59 minutes this competitive season. And JML, how many is a private profile? We hate to see it. Can't make any funny jokes. There goes the whole
Tippy.
bit.
Tippy the tank. Tippy the the Ram Phenom from Solar going into the Tracer 1v1 against JML, who we saw in the All Stars match have a very lethal DPS on him. Both Tracers coming through. Tippy immediately taking some early positioning into the cafe. JML still hugging the statue as both Tracers eventually coming through, popping into the cafe. But JML is missing some health, trying to wait for that passive to come through. JML early recall out. Tippy still hasn't recalled yet as both Tracers poking around the cafe. Tippy holding on to the recall. Recalls now and will immediately jump back in as both Tracers coming through. It's just chaos in the cafe, but through all of that, JML blink in will execute Tippy to take the point.
So here's a fun fact about Tippy's Tracer. It is the 12th most played hero of this competitive season for time played.
All right, as both Tracers coming through, Tippy recalls now about 2/3 of the health bar. JML still holding on to the recall. About a third left. Will eventually recall to about half. Tippy about a third, and JML will execute Tippy. Go up 2-0 in the series.
JML looking clean with these Tracer blinks right now.
Yeah, and Tippy just kind of juking around the statue. Eventually will come into the cafe, meet up with JML. Both Tracers recall at about the same time, but JML just going through. Tippy has to back up, has to play statue. Both Tracers are now poking a little bit more, but Tippy evens it out and gets a point up onto the board.
2-1 favor of JML.
Yeah, JML executing back through. Both Tracers kind of playing right around the rosy. Tippy about a third of the health bar. Still has not recalled yet. Still holding on to recall. Will eventually get there. But unfortunately, his recalled so late that he doesn't get any more health. And JML takes advantage of this and will just bonk Tippy and send him back through to pull ahead 3-1.
So as you say that, both Tracers just hold W on this one.
Hold W on this one. Tippy recall 4, still about half health. JML still holding on. Will recall about now. And eventually will win it out over Tippy. JML onto match point. And Tippy just going through. JML forcing Tippy down. Tippy recalls, and this time recalls it gets good chunk of health back. JML about two-thirds of the health bar left, just hoping for the passive to kind of kick in, or Tippy to kind of let him passively regen as they're playing scared. Tippy kind of just going through, moving on to high ground, taunting JML to come and meet him there. Will eventually drop into the cafe. JML spots this, and they've gone for so long that both Tracers passively regens up to full health. And both Tracers should have blinks again, so this is going through. But Tippy first on the recall. JML recalls shortly afterwards, so no recalls left on the table. Both Tracers going through as they're executing through the cafe. JML with the health bar advantage over Tippy, and will eventually kind of come through. Tippy, another recall into the cafe, doesn't get as much health back, but Tippy still falls. Tippy about half health, and JML will win it out 5-1.
One of the faster rounds we've seen here. JML coming up dominant.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's coming Tracer 1v1s. You're coming down to your recall timing. You're coming down to blink management, and just in the end, Tippy just greeting that much more, unfortunately, cost him. So revert, who are our next Tracers?
Pickle Strider. Oh yeah. Hollander and Aldo are last. Pickle Strider's up next.
Pickle and Strider. Gotcha.
Welcome to Lijiang Night Market.
As both Tracers going through, Strider turning around, executing Pickle to take the lead in the series. Former teammates going through early recall from Strider. Pickle answers back in turn, but Pickle is about half health. Bonk and you'll miss a territory. Strider turning around, executing Pickle will take the lead 2-0.
Absolutely. Check their profiles. Strider, 55 times more time played this current season than Pickle. Pickle, only character ever played this current season, Winston.
I
15
can tell
minutes.
you it is a glitch because Pickle was doing some on console and some on PC. Pickle has played a lot more time this season.
I was getting real concerned looking at that profile.
No, it's a glitch. It's a glitch. As I say that though, blink and you'll miss it. Strider taking the lead 3-1 over Pickle. Again, Pickle's about half, and Strider is about 2/3. Eventually, Pickle has to recall. As the recall force, Strider still holding on to this recall. Pickle falling really low. Strider recalling just now, and will eventually, with the later recall, execute Pickle with just that, with the tracking, and Strider sitting on match point in this Tracer 1v1. Strider falling really low, still holding on to the recall. Will choose to use it now, and will critically recall with get all the way to full health, showing the prowess of knowing when to recall, that timing, that management. As I say that though,
Strider almost choked it.
Strider almost choked it, but will win it out in the end 5-1.
Having looked at their profiles, I thought that was crazy. I was like, that's a fact of all time.
All right, as we're getting into our final round 1 matchup, it'll be Hollander versus Fry.
Absolutely. Hollander coming in here with 112 hours collectively played on Tracer, give or take, depending on different accounts, of course. Fry, can't tell you a thing about. Private profiles, boys. Love to see them.
Fry, this current competitive season, has played 34 minutes of Tracer. It is their second most played hero, but this should be a really good Tracer duel if what I saw happened. It was Strider winning that one versus Pickle, 5-1. As both Tracers going through. Fry falling to half, but neither Tracer having recalled yet. Should be about there. As Fry falling low, will recall now. Hollander recalling shortly afterwards, and we'll have health advantage over Fry as Hollander takes round 1 over Fry. Both Tracers playing very methodically, using the blinks to really kind of juke each other out. Recall from Hollander, they're eventually matched by Fry. Fry having the health advantage and will even it up 1-1.
Absolutely. These Tracers playing a bit more pokey and then going in when they see the opportunity to.
Yeah, both Tracers just doing their best to really, respecting each other, and not egoing, not committing in too early. Because as soon as one Tracer has an advantage, i.e. the recall or health advantage, it's just go and execute. As both Tracers juking around through the cafe, Hollander and Fry falling really low. Eventually coming through, but Hollander wins it out in the end, and takes the lead in the series. Fry immediately coming through, early rips through as both Tracers recall. Hollander first, Hollander first to recall, but Fry recalls and both Tracers back to full health, which should be about even. As just again jiggling through with the health. Hollander another recall, while Fry falling shortly afterwards. About both Tracers about half health. Again, just juking around the statue. Fry falling really low, and Hollander turning around, executing it off with the melee to finish it off.
Hollander up 3-1 right now.
Yeah. Again.
You know who else came back from a 3-1 deficit? LeBron James.
I mean, never say never. As Fry does turn around through all of that, and will take another one off of Hollander. As both Tracers juking around the statue for now, trying to poke the other one down. Fry falling low, has to recall first. Hollander following shortly afterwards. But both Tracers now moving into the cafe, moving through. Fry falling really low, and Hollander doesn't even need to blink, doesn't even need the melee to finish him off. We'll just finish him off with some headshots as he moves into match point. And Hollander falling really low. Fry recalls first, Hollander shortly afterwards. Both Tracers about even on the health right now as Hollander moving on the outside. Fry juking around natural cover. Fry falling really low. Hollander going in, doesn't even need to blink into carefully execute. Hollander will take the Tracer 1v1, 5-2.
Nice.
Who's next?
Okay, so
Pause, champ.
sorry. We got to get our winners in first, and then I think we're gonna spin a wheel for the matchups here. So I'm gonna get in the players VC.
Okay.
We'll let y'all know.
Gotcha.
How's it going in here?
It's going. You know, casting Tracer 1v1s is it's like pretty much all play. It's all play by play, like very little color because of how fast they're going.
Yeah, I got smoked.
Yeah. Do you know Strider plays Tracer?
I do know Strider plays Tracer. Hey, he wanted to play, and apparently they didn't have him down, so I was like, okay, I'll go in and then play Strider so he can play.
He never submitted his Google Doc. I wouldn't checked. So I'd add him to everything now.
All right, I'll go yell at him for not doing his.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, at least he got to play.
True. All right.
How was casting the All-Star games?
Holy, do y'all know how to stall?
Dude, I was surprised they allowed Freya like mid-series. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why she's being played all over the place for WCS.
Yeah. Don't worry, mid-season's coming up. She'll get balanced soon. Hopefully.
Will she?
I mean, what's the hope?
Yeah, but it's like this dev team, and we've seen them drop the ball a lot.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna call it now. Freya's gonna have one of those. She's gonna be the new She's gonna have the Sojourn treatment of like she's gonna be dominant. She's gonna probably overstay her welcome on how dominant she is, and she's gonna have to get gutted at some point in order to bring her back to like a healthy, reasonable state.
I'm calling Amalgamated.
Less Malga, more Orisa.
Now hear me
Honestly.
out. TM. We have the
All right, my lovely casters.
all right, hold on.
We have the order of events for our semifinals, and as a friendly reminder, it is going to be first to 6. Our first matchup is going to be Deadeye versus Strider, followed by JML versus Andoryu, and then Hollander versus Uncontinued.
Okay.
Who do you guys have winning this one?
I'm going to give
I
it
like Deadeye.
to maybe Deadeye.
No, my bias is for Strider. Strider comes up clutch.
I'm putting the whole house on Deadeye.
I see. As both tracers coming in third. It is first to 6. Yes.
Yep, first to 6.
First to 6. Okay. Both tracers coming through, but Strider holding on to the recall will recall just that much later versus Deadeye, and Strider gets the first one up over Deadeye as both tracers going through. Juking around the statue, moving towards the control point, even though we are on night market. Deadeye falling to half. Strider having just that much more health. Deadeye first to recall again. Strider using this time to disengage, force Deadeye to kind of come in towards him a little bit. Deadeye showing a little bit of respect, maybe some nerves. I'm not entirely sure. As Strider recalls now inside the cafe, both tracers coming through. Another recall out onto Deadeye, but this time Deadeye evens it up 1-1. And taking that time might have bit Strider a little bit as he recalls, as he's the first to recall again. Going around the statue. Deadeye still pretty much full health, getting down now. Eventually will have his recall forced about now. Strider falling really low, but playing patiently. Another recall through. Deadeye about even, but again, as both tracers go through, blinking, you'll miss it. One melee through, and Deadeye takes the lead.
Ooh, Deadeye finding another quick one.
Another quick one indeed. Strider coming through. Triple blink over both tracers recalling at about the same time. I'm pretty sure that was like no one expected it as both tracers coming through, but Deadeye eventually chunks Strider down. Will lead up for 4-1.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't see those stripe bombing coming in.
Yeah, the triple blink dive bomb coming through as Strider chunks Deadeye down, forces him to back up and recall early as Deadeye taking the position in the cafe. Strider just playing patiently, and Strider will pay off, taking that win and going up 2-4. On his way back in. Both tracers through the cafe. Deadeye first to recall, falling really low. Eventually, Strider will come through, still out, but Deadeye falling really low, and Strider evens it up 3-4.
Strider making a comeback here.
Yep, I'm telling you, you just need to let him get warmed up. That's all it will take. As both tracers recalling through, Deadeye first to pop the recall, but Strider recalling just about the same time, so it's about even. As Deadeye falling low will fall around towards point. Strider respecting Deadeye and not forcing the issue right now. As both tracers jockeying around the statue, starting the health passes to come through. Strider recalling first, but Deadeye recalling later, and Deadeye with the earlier recall will move on to match point.
Yeah, Strider playing that far too passively allows Deadeye to come back into it.
Yeah, I mean it's unfortunate that the health passes started kicking back through. As Strider first to recall, Deadeye recalling shortly afterwards, about even on the health. No recalls this time, and Strider moving through. Just respecting Deadeye. Strider falling really low. Deadeye will win it out.
6-3, Deadeye takes it.
Yeah, but a close tracer 1v. Yeah.
GG's.
Yeah, GG.
I put the money on Deadeye.
I mean,
He put the house and won it.
it's. I'm not a gambling man. Not a gambling man. Not these days.
The house is still secured. All right, who do we got on this one? JML versus Enduro. Enduro.
Yeah, JML versus Andrew. Both DPS players from the All-Star matches, both lethal in their own rights. This will be an interesting one to see who can take the advantage in this tracer arena. It's a mix of mechanics, timing, and some brain power.
Let's
Everything
see
you
if the
like.
neurons are activating as we head into this next match.
Yeah. both tracers coming through, who poking around the statue. Neither tracer recalling yet, and Drew about half health versus JML at about 2/3 health. And Drew first to recall will recall to about half health. JML recall shortly afterwards about to the 2/3 health. Both tracers kind of go through, but Andrew playing passively, respecting the health a little bit. And
Oh, it's trade! JML wins that technically. Wait, no.
Andrew would have he had a trade off like that, but the scoreboard is going in favor of JML, so we're gonna follow what the scoreboard says. As
Scoreboard never lies.
Scoreboard never lies. At a broad moments, as JML will win it out, we'll take that one. We'll go up 2-0 in the series. Both tracers going through. And Drew recalling first, but JML recalling about the same time, so about even on the health bars as well. As both tracers going in, and JML in the execute, blinking you'll miss it, bonks Andrew in order to send him through.
What are the chances? This is a 6-0 here, guys.
I'm gonna say a 6-1 here. I'll give him one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, JML, stop! He has a family!
JML says not anymore. I'm going through.
Just made some orphans.
Yeah. I mean, but Andrew playing passively hasn't recalled yet, but okay, never mind. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Andrew saying not anymore, will not be a clean sweep. Will not go gentle into this good night. Will recall back. JML has not had his recall force yet, so about even. As both tracers juking around the statues, trying to force them through. Recalls out on both sides. Both tracers coming through, and JML will execute Andrew, going up onto match point.
I don't know, I think Alex might be right here.
I think so, but JML early recall, Andrew recalling a little bit later, but both tracers about falling even. Both tracers are going through, moving forward, and JML wins it out 6-1. Alex was right.
Oh wow, Alex, you might just be a god, bro. Bro saw 3 rounds and said, bro saw 3 rounds and said, I've seen enough. 6-1. It's crazy. Alright, well, our next is going to be Hollander versus Uncontinued. And I think this is a potential to go like 12 rounds. I think it's going to be 6-5, bro. I think it's going to be close.
This one should be close. It'll be interesting to see.
Hollander 6-3. I'll call that shot.
He's calling it now. We'll see if he can go. We'll see if he can go 2 for 2 on the day.
2 for 2 on the Preds. As both tracers opening up, respecting each other. Neither one having the recall for it, but Hollander does fall low first. Both tracers recalling about the same time, and both tracers shooting around the statue for now. Hollander going through, but Uncontinued will open it up and start with the early lead. Both tracers poking, prodding, doing it from a distance. Uncontinued about about 2/3 health. Hollander following about there. They're about half health now. Neither Tracer having recalled yet, so no one's really trying to go first. Continue first to recall, and Hollander will blink. We'll finish it off with the melee before recalling to even it up. Oh,
We're
Tracer
going down to half.
Yeah, Hollander half has to recall first. Uncontinued recalls now, recalls later, and both Tracers are just they're gonna let the healing passive kick in and get back to full. Long battle in the cafe now. Both recalls forced out, so no more second chances. Not now. Uncontinued will turn around and execute Hollander to take the lead.
How you feeling about this 6-6-3 pred, Alex? Just checking in.
I'll stand on business. Hollander, just warming up.
He's just warming up. Just warming up. He's got to lock in.
Have we Bert, have we confirmed that Hollander has done what he did last time he was in the Tracer one we won with Nada?
No, he is. I do not know if he has had any alcohol yet. He might need it. He might need to take a pause. We might need to take an alcohol break.
need to take the break indeed as uncontinued.
Hollander needs to win 5 straight.
I need Hollander to go crazy.
I
He's about to go on a generational run right here.
I mean,
Hollander in 5.
Hollander in 5.
It could happen. Hollander recalling back into the cafe. Uncontinued, finding him, marking him down.
My friends.
Alex is in shambles.
I'm sitting back down.
Alex's
I'm in
friends
shambles.
are in shambles, and going through both Tracers recalling out, but Hollander about 1/3 of the health bar, Uncontinued about 2/3. Hollander falling really low. Uncontinued does have the advantage, and he can just poke from a distance. Hollander needs to be smart when he executes. Uncontinued recalls through and will eventually burn Hollander down. Going to go onto match point.
I'm not gonna say I cast or cursed Hollander, but I might have cast or cursed him.
It happens.
Oh, it's over!
Blinking,
It's over!
I did.
My Tracer goat!
I need to apologize to Hollander.
He stopped playing Overwatch!
Oh.
Oh my god. That's bad.
Is that uncontinued guy a free agent?
I'm thinking about it, bro. Alright, well now we're gonna spin the wheel. I'm gonna go to the other Discord.
Alright.
Alright.
Pickle, are you jumping into this? Are you jumping into the Widow 1v1?
Apparently.
Alright,
I said I'm down, and then
I was gonna say better you than me because the last time I did a Widow 1v1 it was rough.
Dude, low key. What if it's you versus me? Battle of mid.
Oh my. You know what? High key. I will take that. Have fun casting that one.
Zach misses a shot. Pickle comes again and misses a shot. Zach goes for the grapple shot and misses.
It's gonna be 20 shots, no kills at that point.
Pickle's just giving up on the scope shots and is going full SMG.
I'm pretty sure we have it so that it's Widow headshot only. So we have to go for this. We have to go for the snipes.
Is this finals or semifinals?
Semifinals. There's 3 players remaining.
Okay, so it's gonna be 1st to 7 here. Oh wait, no. I guess it'll be 1st to 6.
Yeah, next one will be 1st to 7.
Yeah.
Finals should be 1st to 7, so this is 1st to 6 then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll let him know.
JML in 6.
Uncontinued in, I don't know, 4?
And 4 is crazy.
4.
JML. Early,
That was 1st to 7.
finals will be 1st to 7. This is technically semis. JML with the early lead.
And JML coming in, executing off. If you guys want to take over, cast and more, take over more of this Tracer battle off of me, please.
You got it,
help.
I
Alex.
got you.
Okay, alright. JML. Blinks in. Recall early for uncontrolled. JML follows suit. Right now, poking, prodding at each other. Seeing what position can get the best of them. JML going down to half. Uncontinued.
We're
Almost
shooting.
full health. Very much in favor of uncontinued right now. JML going into the cafe, trying to blink out. Doesn't. Uncontinued. Punches him, knocks him out. 1-1.
Continued. Good blink usage there. I think that's probably what sent him over the top, to be honest.
Absolutely. As we're coming, we're seeing more poking, prodding battles here. JML going down super low. Uncontinued doesn't have that half forced recall. Forces it. JML half. Uncontinued. Looking to burn him down. Might have cast Recurse JML as he goes down. Uncontinued. 2-1.
Yeah, you're done predicting people, bro. Every time you predict them, they lose. So I'm just gonna
Continue
take
to
that
Fred.
from you, bro.
Caster, with great power comes great responsibility. As uncontinued first to recall JML, recalling shortly afterwards, but both Tracers heading back up to full health. But as I say that though, uncontinued manages to burn down JML. JML in the danger zone of double blink in, and you could just bonk him down. But the healing passes, you're kicking in for both Tracers. We're about to be going back up to full health as we're fighting in the cafe. And recall from uncontinued. Later recall from JML as both Tracers are now both Tracers evening it up as we're going through. JML falling low, uncontinued. Does have a massive health advantage over JML as JML is just blink and you'll this is uncontinued.
Yeah, JMO just took some really weird angles, and he kind of got clipped for it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. As uncontinued, early recall, JML follows suit. Right now, a health advantage for JML. Fighting around this lion statue. Everyone, down low. JML, basically a 1 health, gets peppered, uncontinued, 4-1.
I think Uncontinued might be the favorite to just take this whole thing. Bro has been dominant all night, bro, on this Tracer.
Exactly. It's just coming down to who has it. Both Tracers recalling about the same time, but JML falling really low. About 1 hit territory around the statue and will eventually fall. Uncontinued going on to match point.
5-1 uncontinued. JML needs to step his game up.
Step his game up, indeed, but I don't know if there's any miracle insights.
Both read. Now going super low, uncontinued. Wins it out, 6-1. My caster curse still reigns supreme.
Hey, can you pred Uncontinued to win finals, please?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Uncontinued 7-1.
2-7. And we're gonna go.
Did I 7-5?
Dead Eye 7-5. Did you just see this performance? This guy just 6-1, 2 people back to back.
Uncontinued. Let's go uncontinued 7-6. I think it's gonna
I say Uncontinued 7-2. Full house. Full money.
Alright, you hit it, Pierce.
Shot. They're ready. We're going in. We're gonna have a new Tracer winner. Tracer 1v1 winner. Hollander was the previous winner, and he lost 6-1 to Uncontinued. But this is where we get a new winner from our All Stars event today as we get into this round 1 matchup between Uncontinued and Deadeye.
Yeah, both Tracers poking and prodding, but uncontinued falling low first, has to recall back. We'll get about 2/3 of his health up. Deadeye still holding strong, has not recalled yet, and will eventually win it out, take the early lead in the series.
I will say Uncontinued's always gone down once. Sorry, go ahead.
No, Deadeye did not need to use the re.
Yeah.
As we're here, we might see the re come in. Both Tracers read come in. Deadeye losing the health duel right now.
Losing the health duel, but mechanically a little bit better. As I say that though, uncontinued turning around, evening it up 1-1.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because Deadeye had to reload the last few seconds there, and I continued in it, so he was able to hit those last few shots.
Uh, it's coming. It's just gonna come down to time. Come down to your timings. Come down to everything. Come down to your timings. Come down to your management. As I say that though, I'll continue first to recall Deadeye, recall it shortly afterwards, but Deadeye does not get as much health back on the recall. Advantage going in favor of Uncontinued as both Tracers poking around the statue, moving in towards the cafe now. Uncontinued, given some respect, coming through, and Uncontinued will blink in, bonk Deadeye, and will take the advantage.
Uncontinued up 2-1 as we're fighting basically in Garden right now. Recall forced.
Recall forced. Deadeye with the later recall, but Uncontinued winning about even in the health bar. Deadeye eating some more poke from Uncontinued. Uncontinued showing the dominance of, again, with the early recall forced through. Second recall forced through. Deadeye recalling back, and they're about even on health again. So both Tracers are just poking and prodding around, and this time Deadeye gets it out.
This might go all the way, but Deadeye, I need you to give me my money. All right, I've lost a lot of money tonight. Give me my money, Deadeye. Give me my money.
You just said Uncontinued. I said Deadeye.
Sorry, I changed it last minute, actually.
Bro, really just Bro really said.
Bro saw the first kill and was like, nah, I gotta agree with Pickle here.
Abandon the cause. As both Tracers executing through passive enough to let Uncontinued get back up to full. Deadeye's health passive kicking in as well. Deadeye falling really low. Both Tracers recalling about the same time, but Uncontinued having let the passive kick in first will have the health bar advantage in favor after the recall as Uncontinued forcing through. But
You see that guy?
Deadeye
You see that guy?
evens it up.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
Pulling
Deadeye
ahead.
up 3-2.
Alex, what are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing my Preds go out the window.
I agree. Polymarket's got Deadeye at a 72% chance to win right now. I just checked.
All right. Well, we are as we are predicted, as we are going through, both Tracers poking and prodding. Uncontinued, fallen low, first to recall, Deadeye recalling shortly afterwards, but Uncontinued will just track better than Deadeye and will even it up.
Yeah, and Deadeye's odds to win on Polymarket just went down 12%.
Early recall out from Uncontinued as going through.
Going down
They just went back up 12%. This is a great finals matchup, man.
15% there.
You know what? I predicted it to be close, and so far it's been nothing but close. As I say that, Deadeye coming through, recalling first, about 2/3 of the health bar. Uncontinued, still holding on to the recall of his own, and will blink through it, even out. Oh my god!
back and forth series we have here.
Doesn't even need to recall this. Yeah, you're correct. This is cinema indeed. As both Tracers angling through, recalling about the same time, about the same health bar total as Deadeye gets behind Uncontinued, who just enough for Deadeye to come through and pick it up and pull ahead 5-4.
This is so back and forth. As this truly, to me, these are truly the best two players to make it to the finals.
Yeah, early recall from Uncontinued, going through first as Deadeye still juking around the statue. Uncontinued falling really low, and Deadeye will pull ahead onto match point. Uncontinued, it's time to lock in. I need you to win at least 2 more to make it even.
I don't know. Polymarket has Deadeye at a 92% chance to win the series right now. Let's see if Uncontinued can beat the odds.
See if Uncontinued can beat the odds. He's done it before. He can definitely do it again. First recall out, but both Tracers poking through the cafe. Coming through. Ooh, it's messy in there. Uncontinued falling really low. And unfortunately, Deadeye fakes it. What happened?
Hey, mine was really close. I said 7-5.
Wow, what a series we had there, guys. I mean, that was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely a fun one indeed. Congratulations to Deadeye for taking it 7-4 in the finals.
I'd like to call someone out. I challenge Zach from Oops All Vibes to Widow 1v1.
I mean, it's gonna be mid. It's gonna be mid. I'm gonna be real.
Battle of the century. What are you talking about?
It's gonna be the battle of who's having the least amount of main tanking. Oh, well, I think it's time for me to move down there.
It's what's going on next?
Widow 1v1 tournament next.
Okay.
Okay, Alex. Well, it looks like you're gonna get to do the play-by-play because Zach is gonna Widow 1v1. That's crazy.
Let's go.
And I'm just gonna be here in the back seat, but I'm about to make the matchups for you, Cloud. There's gonna be 8 players, so it's gonna be quarters, semis, and finals. Quarterfinals first to what am I saying? First to 4, semis first to 5, finals first to 6. But I gotta get Caden in here because he's playing.
You're out. All right, we're just doing Widow 1v1s. How exciting. Now, what's the first 2 on both these? On all these?
He is running a wheel right now.
I know, but like quarterfinals, how many are you going up to? Like quarter, semis, and finals.
I want to
Was it,
say
like, first
it
2?
should be the same as Tracer.
Okay. So 3, 5, 7, or 3? Was it 5?
Issue was
6.
5, 6, 7. Or no, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, 5. Was it 5? I thought it was.
Okay.
5, 6, 7. Yep, 5, 6, 7.
5, 6, 7. Okay.
6, 7. If we move quick enough, we might actually be on time for the 3v3s. This is crazy. All right, so
Wild.
I gotta get in there and make the matchups real quick. I'll be...
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'll give
Spin the wheel.
Deadeye the roll. Oh, he already has it. Okay, well, oh, there's Vert.
All right, I'm here.
All right.
Someone want to share their screen? I can't watch because Caden's playing.
Yeah,
Oh wait, no.
I can share.
Okay, cool. All right, chat. We're back with the NA Prod, but Alex, I dropped the matchups. It's gonna be the battle of the mid-off, Zach versus Pickle to begin, and then we're gonna have a round 2 matchup of Strider versus Crispy, and then Ghost versus JML, and then Cupid versus Synarchy. As mentioned before, it's gonna be first to 4, and then 5, and then 6, and it is single elimination.
6. All right. Single elimination. All the chips on the board. Battle of mid-off to start it.
Battle of mid-off is on. Who do you think advances, our caster or our prod?
4, 3,
You know, I respect both, but I'm gonna go with my casting buddy. Let's see if they work on it. Misses the grapple. That's embarrassing. Almost
Yeah,
immediately.
I have no clue. Oh, this is on headshots only, maybe? Should I change
So we got
it?
headshots only. Zach going down super low. Pickle putting them down. That's my
Okay.
caster.
I think maybe
Misses
Pickle
the grapple
wins.
again, and again, and again, and again.
Holy.
That was 4 missed grapples in a row, chat.
Oh my god!
And he's put down.
You know, I think the big difference maker is that Pickle's just been hitting the grapples. That's all it is.
Yeah. Known hard ability to hit grapple. Zach going down super low.
Oh, he misses the grapple.
Pickle finally misses 1 grapple.
The passive regen is coming in. Oh, and Zach
Oh.
gets his first headshot of the game.
Caster up. 1, 2. Pickle immediately puts him down. Up 3-1.
You know who else came back from a 3-1 deficit? LeBron James. And you know who Zach is related to? Not LeBron James. That's gonna be
Let's say
serious.
not LeBron. Pickle up 4-1.
That's it, Cloud. It's first to 4 for quarters. Yep.
It doesn't matter. Pickle gets another one real quick.
Back down so quickly.
That was my caster duo.
Okay, so not much to analyze there. Pickle hit shots, Zach didn't. But we are going to move on to Strider versus Crispy. And Strider is someone we've seen all day. He played in the All-Star game. He played in the Tracer 1v1s. And his hit scan is pretty good. I don't know anything about Crispy, though. So
I can tell you actually a lot about Crispy. He was on the B
word?
team of my team. We blew up, so now he moved up to A.
Oh, word?
Absolutely. There's some fun facts about Wispy. Wispy, deadly hit scam on the cast. Haven't seen too much of his Widow, but he is definitely a threat. So I can tell you that.
Okay, so I expect cinema then. That's what I expect.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got Strider versus Crispy. We're trying to move quick here. Staying on target. Someone just said losable. We've got ours in the chat. I think Strider, just because I know Strider, is probably Zach. How you feeling, buddy?
Listen, I don't play Widow.
I gotta ask, how do you miss grapple?
We're not talking about that. I don't know what I'm more embarrassed by, my Widow performance or the fact that I can't get it up.
LOL. Well, we were just talking about this matchup. Obviously, you're biased towards Strider. I only know Strider, so we got to see if he's ready, though. Okay, he said RR. Alex was telling me that Crispy is a hit scan legend from his team, so hopefully this will be a close matchup. Alex, as we get in here, let's just see who be hitting their shots, though. That's the real question.
It's going to be a battle of servers. My old one versus this one. Wispy
dang!
takes the head off of Strider.
Hey, immediately.
Let's go, my boy. Let's go.
And Strider answering back. Crispy going up for the grapple shot, and Strider this time answered back. Evening up 1-1. Going in on top of each other. Get behind Crispy. Crispy going for the grapple up, and
Wispy hits it.
will hit it on Strider. Crispy going up for another grapple. Going through. Maywell drops down, and Crispy executing back up.
Milk the rat.
What?
Okay, I'll explain that after this match.
Up,
Strider, it's another one.
Come on, Strider, clutch up. Give me my money, Strider. Give me my money, Strider.
Crispy takes it. Let's
Oh,
go.
GG's. That's it. That's it.
Uh,
GG's. Yeah, that was underwhelming. Oh well. So our next matchup is going to be Ghost versus JML. Wow, Goach. I'm done. I'm done. It's over for me. Ghost, the coach for the Lunar Eclipse team that finished fourth place, and JML, the flex DPS player for none other than the runner-up team in Death Blossom. So we'll have to see who wins what, where, underwear scenario here. All I know is that Crispy is kind of nuts.
Absolutely showing up when it matters. That's my boy. I knew that. However, JML, we saw them on Tracer going down in the semifinals. See if they got it, what it takes on the hit scan.
We'll have to see as we load in here.
5, 4, 3.
Both widows given the R's loading up, and JML early up, but Ghost doesn't respond back. Instead, moving towards the wall. Ghost
hits it.
Hits it, but not full enough in order to get JML. JML doing the whole look down, trying to hide the head hitbox.
It's
paying off. What a shot! Holy cow!
I'm not impressed by that dance. Go
Up on top of the wall, but JML answering back and will even up in the series 1-1. Both widows going over. JML grappling towards the wall and will pull ahead of Ghost.
JML
You need
finding
to.
finding three. Needs one more.
JML going over the wall. JML moving in close to it. Sometimes you're missing, more missing, hitting the May pillar instead of the head.
Not even shooting. The disrespect is crazy.
Emoting on him.
Hitting the
Grapple
May
miss.
But Ghost going up. JML moving over. Another May wall up in order to split the field down. Ghost hitting a May pillar. But JML over and JML.
What a
takes it.
shot. Wow, so we're going to our final game of the semis here. It's going to be Cupid versus Sinarchy. Cupid, the hit scan player for Tier 2 Blackout, going against his coach, Sinarchy, who coaches the Tier 2 in Blackout. So we'll have to see who's going to get what here. Personally, I think my money is likely on Sinarchy, I think.
Likely on Sinarchy, but either way, it's gonna be who is hitting the shots on the day.
I mean, Cupid's best DPS is by far Tracer, and he got knocked out really early. So I don't know if he was ready. I don't know if he was ready for that fire. But we need to see if these players are ready.
Absolutely. We did see the soft hit scan on a play come out from Sinarchy in the tournament.
It did come through indeed. Both teams are both widows getting ready and going up early, jump up from Sinarchy, but Cupid doesn't manage to hit a headshot. Cupid this time grappling up and Sinarchy answering back. What goes up must come down as both widows jumping up, both widows not hitting each other, but Sinarchy answering for 2, taking an early lead up in the series.
Dang. Oh, good shot by Cupid.
Good shot from Cupid in order to get onto the board. As both teams coming through. Sinarchy answering back, taking it up, going up to match point. Sinarchy up with the jump, grapple up. Cupid doesn't manage to hit anything, but Cupid evening it out, saying anything can happen. Indeed, it's both widows going through. Sinarchy hits a shot,
That's
doesn't have
Sinarchy's
fully
game.
charged. Yeah, and there we go.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna get the semi matchups rolling up here in just a moment, fellas.
All right. Semifinals, that's first to 5.
All right, so it's gonna be Pickle versus Snarky to start. Hello, hello.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Synarchy and
Pickle,
Crispy.
Snarky to
Okay.
start. No,
I
Pickle.
heard pickle and
Pickle, Snarky. Pickle, Snarky, yeah.
Yeah.
GG's. All right. First to 5, fellas. Here we freaking go.
All right.
Okay, what's the Preds, guys?
5, 4,
Snarky 5-1.
Pickle 5-3.
Pickle by 17, to be honest.
Okay.
No, I'm playing. Snarky's just too cool with it, man. He's just too cool with it.
He is too cool with it as he gets the immediately both widows going up. Snarky answering back for 2. Both widows again grapples through, but no midair snipes this time. Another Maywall setting up. Pickle going for another jump shot. Snarky just crouching down. Snarky with
Snarky with
3.
3.
Oh my god, he can't miss!
He can't miss.
Oh my.
Snarky match point. Is he gonna come through, or can Pickle get his 1?
Nope, he's not going to. Snarky in 5 right here. Watch. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Hold on. Bobbing and weaving. But he's
Bobbing and
taking
weaving.
away!
Sweeps.
And a clean sweep.
5-0.
That was diabolical, to be honest.
That was just too clean.
Crispy versus JML. Or Quispy. Whatever kind of name is that.
I just say Wispy.
Quispy.
Now fuck this.
All right.
Wispy.
So what is this? What is this inside joke? You said,
Rat milk.
yeah, rat milk.
Okay, so rat milk is one of the most expensive liquids per ounce.